both of us we trust our intuition. And I was sitting at home one night, and I just had this pull. I don't know how to explain it. It's like something that felt like a string pulling me out. And I was like, all right, I need to go. So I texted one of my friends. I was like, what are you doing right now? And this always, in my life, going with the flow has always brought the best stuff. You know, and I just felt like I need to go. I texted my friend. He's like, hey, I'm at the recording studio. Come on over. So I go to the recording studio. I don't know why. I just was like, I want to hang out with someone. I don't want to sit at home. And I felt like something important was going to happen. And we go out, and I get there, and my friend decides that it's time to go call someone on the phone and smoke a cigar. So he walks out on the stairs and starts smoking a cigar, and I'm sitting in the studio going, what do I do now? And then suddenly I hear these amazing singing, and I look over, and there's V recording, and she looks at me. Now knowing V, it must have been super awkward to have me in the room.
So annoying.
Because she's just like, who is this guy? And she's smiling at me. I know her enough now. Like, she probably was like, why is he here? Who is this guy? You know, and I'm just sitting there going, you know, hello, wow, that's amazing. And then she's like, thank you. And I didn't know V was famous. You know, for me, she was just a...
You haven't heard before?
No idea who she was. You know, it's like, just, it was not my frame of reference. I was not here during her Vietnam Idol years. So I was back in the US during that time studying. And so, you know, I didn't know who she was. And I was like, oh, it's nice to meet you. Thank you. That's beautiful singing. And then she left. And I was just like, you know, I didn't ask her number. I didn't talk to her anything more.
You really think that I'm going to give you
No,
my
probably
number?
not. So I went online, and I knew the guy who was the audio engineer. And then I went straight up Facebook stalking her. And I found her Facebook, and I was like, hi, we met in the studio. I'd love it. And she never messages people back, so ever.
Is that love at the first sight?
Not at all. I failed so many times. The only way I had a chance was because of one thing. Our first date was horrible. Horrible. So again, remember we talked about my food allergies. I can't eat anything. So how do you take a person on a date in Vietnam and you can't eat? So I took her to this really horrible coffee shop. It was awful.
And you were late.
And I was late. And we get there, and I ordered a coconut, chada, and a coffee, and I'm not drinking any of them. And she's staring at me, and I'm staring at her, and then I knock over the drink, and I spill my drink all over her, and I'm just like trying to like clean. I'm so sorry. It was like the movie Wedding, like the Wedding Crashers, and he's like, and then she looked at me, and she's like,
is that an accident, or is that the way that you want to take care of her?
It was horrible. I am clumsy.
Em đang mặc đầm chứ. Đổ nước người đầy người ta.
Anh vụng về lắm. Vụng về.
And so I was like, you know, I'm so sorry about that date. Can you give me one more chance? And then we went out, and she met my dog. And so I I loved my old dog. My dog passed away a couple of years ago. When I was living in the US, I got really, really sick, like really sick. I almost died. And I had a very bad viral infection of my heart. And it was really tough to recover from that. When I was at my most sick, I couldn't even walk upstairs. I was laying in bed, and, you know, every day I would walk 10 steps, and that would be it. That's all I could walk. And in that time, I had my dog. She was the most sweet, loving dog, and she stayed at my friend's house. And I would get up to go and feed my dog, and that would be how I got better. It was the only thing that kept me going. And when I decided to move back to Vietnam, there was no way I was not bringing my dog. And I treated my dog better than I treat people. Like, I love that dog, and she was the sweetest. And then V met me and my dog together, and she saw how I treated my dog. And she's like, she said, I knew you were a good man from that. And then about 2 dates into our relationship, her dog passed away. I did something that her parents probably got so upset with. But I went up to the street and I found her a puppy. And so I said, "Do you want to come to my house, watch a movie? I want you to see something." So she came over, and then I opened the bathroom door, and this tiny little puppy came running out. We didn't have love at first sight, but we both bonded over the challenges from the beginning. We bonded over things that we loved, and we both recognized that anything in life that's worth having takes work, takes time, you know? If you want a dog to love you, you have to every single day feed it, take care of it. And a family is no different.